Hey guys, how's it going? This is your old pal CHH. What a cool day today is. We're talking about a remake of one of, if not the greatest horror films ever made, Night of the Living Dead. We do have it in hand. That is Night of the Living Dead, the 4K Steelbook. And first off, I'm sure you're looking at this, you're like, oh, is it glossy? Is it matte? It's matte. It's matte. And I think matte is just something that may be a little bit cheaper to do than glossy. I'm not sure. But it is what it is. I love the fact that it is the original poster art. As you can see, it's also the menu screen on both discs. What a beauty. Now, to give you an example of how much I love Night of the Living Dead 1990, there's only one way I can describe it. I've actually read about the movie. That's right, I liked it enough that I wanted to read about the movie. Two books, as a matter of fact. I read these books right here. I read John Russo's Night of the Living Dead 1990 Illustrated History, which is a fantastic book. And I also read Night of the Living Dead 1990, The Version You Never Seen by Tom Savini, going over all the special scenes and storyboards of the movie. John Russo's book talks about the troubled making of the film and things of that nature. Both really good books. I highly recommend both if you're into, like me, coffee table books. What can I say? Night of the Living Dead 1990 is a fantastic remake. It's one of those remakes that when you talk to people, a lot of them say they think this one is as good as the original, if not even better. Hard to argue it. I mean, what's wrong about Night of the Living Dead 1990? It's hard to say that there's much wrong at all. Well, this movie did have a troubled production, a very troubled production, as a matter of fact. One of the things was, George wanted Tom to direct this, and, before too long, George was gone. It's not like he didn't want to help or be there, but he had to go work on the dark half. He had his own priorities. Tom was going through a divorce. He was not well equipped to direct. I think he'd be the first to tell you that. And, John Russo and Russ Streiner were not getting along with anybody in the production. They didn't respect those guys at that time. The people on the staff and the people that worked in the film, John talks about it in his book. They didn't really respect or care about what those guys thought, the creators of the original. So it was a troubled production. And then Tom kind of threw his hat up and just gave up at a certain point in the editing process. And that's why the film was cut the way it was. And there's a lot of stuff that was left off, and a lot of stuff didn't even get filmed, as far as I know. If you look at the storyboard book, you'll see a lot of stuff that was like, oh, they didn't film. There's no way they filmed that. So yeah, that was a troubled production. All in all, it came out good. I think it has aged better too, even to the point to where Tom himself talked about seeing a screening of the film years later, in recent years, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, when he talked about this in the Charles Band podcast, and he was like, no, there's a movie there. It's a good film. So yeah, it's a great remake. The one big thing about this film that's different is Barbara. A lot of the movie, they take the same motif with the characters, paying homage to the original, but Tom wanted to do one thing different, and that was make Barbara more of the Ripley character from like Aliens, so to speak, a fighter. And it works. It works. It's a different arc for Barbara, but it works. I like both Barbaras. I don't think they have to be competition, so to speak. It works. And I want to say rest in peace to Tony Todd. Watching this, maybe just so sad that he's no longer with us. He is phenomenal in this movie. Just so good. And I loved him in it. What can I say? I think everybody loves Tony Todd in this film. I think he's one of the reasons this movie works so well. So guys, here's the first good thing I get to say about this. Why this wasn't made public and why it was promoted otherwise makes no sense to me, but cool enough. The Blu-ray does include the unrated version. Thank God it does. So both versions, the 4K and the Blu-ray disc, have the unrated version. Now the question is, how is the unrated version? Now I'm going to try to be somewhat responsible with this. I'm not going to not talk about it, but I also don't want to just say what every little thing is here and there, because some people are going to watch this and probably haven't watched it yet, and I want you to be able to enjoy that experience. Now, the first thing I will talk about, because this was public, and this is the big thing about this, is the intro of the film. Now, the intro of the film, Tom originally wanted the movie to start out black and white, paying homage to the original. That was stricken, and when the movie came out theatrically and on home video, it started out in color. Now, does it work? Is it clearly just trying to pay homage? What's the deal? Well, how does it work? In my opinion, it worked really, really well, and I'll tell you what I loved about it. It made the intro truly feel classic horror. And I was surprised. I thought this could have been filmed in '68 as well. And granted, when you watch the Criterion version of Night of the Living Dead, the original, you can definitely see the correlation there, because it's surprising to see how good Night of the Living Dead '68 looked on 4K. So when you watch this in the black and white version, it's great. There is one thing, though, I wish it would have done that it didn't. Tom talked about wanting this movie to gradually turn color, and I thought that's what was going to happen. Now, like I said, I will get into detail about this, and I'll talk about a few things after this, but I don't want to go over every little minute thing, because I want some of it to be, new for the viewers. But it doesn't gradually go from black and white to color. The second the zombie, there's the play in the original where the first guy that comes up is just a creepy old guy, and that's supposed to be like the Bill Heinzman zombie, where it's not. And then the other zombie comes out and attacks Bill Moseley. It goes to color right there. So it didn't have that gradual change. I thought that would have been a nice touch, but it didn't have that. Regardless, though, it transformed the cemetery, made the cemetery look so much creepier. So for that, I definitely loved that big time. Now, in terms of some of the other stuff, now, if you read that book, like I showed, the version you've never seen, you'll see stuff in there that was from like storyboards that I don't even know if it got filmed or if the footage doesn't exist. There were certainly little moments here and there. I'm not going to downplay it, but I'm also not going to overplay the extra footage. I haven't seen what's supposed to be this work print of the film that people have talked about getting it years ago, maybe from conventions. So I don't know if that actually might have a little bit more than what the uncut version has, but there are little moments here and there. For instance, like when one of the zombies gets blasted in the head, you see more of the bullet coming out of the back of the head and the blood squirting out. That big fat zombie in the overalls, you see him fall from the ceiling, go down, she fights him, boom, she kills him eventually. Well, that's usually it right there. But in this version, this is one thing specific I will talk about. You will see her grab the weapon, I think it was the fireplace poker, grab that fireplace poker and pull it out of his head. And you see the blood and everything come out right there. So cool. That was another moment that I liked. Like I said, I don't want to downplay it because it's certainly really cool, but I also don't want to overplay it. It's just plain cool. Not any worse, not any more. It's plain cool. And that's totally fine. But like I said, I think the coolest thing for me was the intro. It could have been better. I would have preferred the transition, but the fact that they did do it and it looks good, kudos to that. Another thing you might be asking is, Christian, does it replace the theatrical version? No, and that's not a bad thing. I actually think this is kind of like what could be the producer's cut of Halloween 6. What mood are you in? Do you want to see the theatrical cut where it comes straight out in color? Or do you want to do the director's unrated version, or whatever it's called, the unrated version, and get that black and white and get those few extra moments? I think you can decide on a routine basis whichever version you want to watch, and I don't think you're really going to miss out one way or the other. So that's a good thing. I'm actually glad it doesn't necessarily replace the theatrical version, because there's nothing wrong with that theatrical version if you ask me. It's still a great version. I like this version a lot too. Now the question is, how does the movie look? Again, I gotta say, I am really happy with this release in every aspect. The picture quality was chef's kiss. I loved it. Obviously, I watched this with Dolby Vision, full 4K, and it was gorgeous, completely uncompressed. There's moments where you see Barbara running towards the camera in the cemetery, the cars in the background, and the image looks anything but flat. I mean, like, if you look up screen grabs of this, the only thing with screen grabs that I don't like is you're seeing a flat image on a flat screen. Like, if you go to, I don't know if Blu-ray.com does a thing where you can look up screen grabs and you can look at the sharpness and the quality. That's one thing. But when you see the motion, when you see the image in movement, and you can see that it is a world inside of your TV completely uncompressed, it rocked the house. I do think this could be a contender for horror 4K of the year. And I want to be specific about that horror 4K, because there's stuff that's probably come out that I didn't buy that could look absolutely incredible. But for horror, I'd say this is a 9.5 out of 10. And the theatrical cut goes without saying, it looks great. Now, the audio, I thought, sounded fantastic. I'll never forget when you see Tony Todd in the beginning of the film, where they get to the house and he just stabs that zombie and he screams, "God damn you!" He screams it. it sounded like he was in the room with me. It actually gave me chills to a certain point. So the audio was sensational on this as well. I got a really good sound bar in here too. Let's look at the release itself, and we'll look at the special features. Artwork on this looks great. I do have a digital code. You know what? God bless you guys. Whoever wants that digital code, pause it and get it. Just say you got it in the comments so people don't waste their time. There is a Fate. Look at the inside. Very, very cool. Now, the Blu-ray disc is in there because that's what's got the special features. Worse Than Death. Really cool on the inside. All right, guys. So, and here's the back. The Mama Zombie, which when you see her face up close in 4K, just looks phenomenal. Let's go look at the special features, and we'll come back. Guys, I just want to do a video and physically show you the special features. We have Savini's Night with director Tom Savini, which was a fantastic interview. Being Barbara with actress Patricia Tallman. What can I say? She was fantastic in the film. We have Oh Brother with actor Bill Moseley. I mean, these are great special. These feel like boutique label special features, the way that they're edited and things like that, and just they're very well done. But I'll show you my favorite. We have the commentary with Tom Savini. Return to the Living Dead with special makeup effects supervisor John Vulick and Everett Burrell. Time with Tom with actor William Butler, excuse me. Flesh and Blood with actors McKee Anderson and Heather Mazur. They did a lot of stuff for this. This is my favorite one. In Living Dead color with producers John Russo and Russ Streiner. I'll talk about that more in the video if I haven't already. Cutting the Dead with editor Tom Dubensky. The Dead Speak with Zombie Informers Greg Funk and Dirk Ashton. The Dead Walk making of. How cool is that? Theatrical trailer. And it's important to note, this has the unrated cut on this Blu-ray disc. Guys, I gotta say, the special features, this is a solid release, and it's funny because this is a studio release. The best interview, guys, I really want to drive this home. Russ Streiner and John Russo. I almost got a little emotional because these guys are old, and they're here, they're healthy, they're sound of mind, their memory is great. I just cherished every word those guys said. They are living legends. As much as I love Tom and all these other guys, I look at those guys with George as true pioneers and legends. And they gave great interviews and they talked all about it. And Russ's story really correlates with that book big time. So read that book. I mean, it was a troubled production. It was not a pretty sight. And you know, that's okay because the end result is a movie that a lot of people love. This is a great release. I really love it. I would have liked this to have not been matte and shiny, but it is what it is. I mean, that's the physical media part of it. But I do think everybody's going to be very happy with this, picture quality-wise and special features-wise, just perfect. Special features were perfect for this. So, guys, 2 thumbs up on this release. I think most people anticipated this being really great. Definitely could be release of the year. Definitely could be. So there you have it, guys. A lot of praise for this release. Night of the Living Dead 1990. Can't wait to see what you guys think about it. Enjoy it. God bless you guys. Take care. Huge giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind the scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.